The Rock returned on Monday Night Raw and has immediately caused a stir regarding the WrestleMania main event. What is up, Nation? O here, back again. Before we get into this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below. A lot to talk about today in regards to the WrestleMania 40 main events for Night 1 and Night 2. Now, before this past Monday's Day 1 Raw, it seemed, for the most part, pretty clear-cut where we were heading for WrestleMania, and that being the World Heavyweight Championship defended on one night, Seth Rollins defending against CM Punk, and Roman Reigns defending the Undisputed Universal Championship against Cody Rhodes on Sunday night. But little wrench thrown into those plans on the Day 1 edition of Raw. Over the weekend, last weekend, it was rumored that a former WWE champion would be making his return. I popped huge for them sending Jinder Mahal out first. I thought that was genius. But then they send The Rock out there, and awesome segment, obviously, just nice, good old-fashioned, entertaining Rock stuff. But before he leaves, you already know what happened. Drops the line that he wants to sit at the head of the table, which is immediately, the second he said that, I got excited. You know, people took to social media to either share their excitement, share their displeasure, worry about Cody Rhodes, this, that, and the third. I got excited because I've been looking forward to The Rock versus Roman Reigns hopefully happening one day for years. And listen, the most interesting thing about this happening now in 2024 is WWE doesn't need The Rock, like, at all. But when you look back at previous years, WrestleMania, whatever, 35 people were calling for it. Like, even before the head of the table, Roman Reigns was a thing. Obviously, it didn't happen. Then we had the COVID year. Then we get the year after that. Then we're in Dallas, Texas, and it's like, all right, Rock versus Roman. This is the perfect year to do it. Rock, evidently, I'm pretty sure the rumors were at the time that he wanted to do the match in Hollywood the following year. Then we get to last year, and The Rock versus Roman does not happen. Rock can't do it. We get Cody versus Roman instead. And now, pretty much after last year, it looks like it was out of the question. Rock versus Roman most likely never going to happen, although we have talked about it here and there on the channel throughout 2023, and now here we are in the new year talking about it again. Listen, to put this simply, Rock coming back, as much as I am a fan, as much as I want to see Rock versus Roman, just in general, whether that's a WrestleMania, Elimination Chamber, whatever, yeah, it's going to screw over a bunch of people. First of all, obviously being Cody Rhodes, the guy who fought Roman Reigns last year at WrestleMania 39, lost, and we all went, why did Cody Rhodes lose? Well, they wanted to build up Cody for another year, give him the adversity, really sell the story that Cody's overcoming for him to take down Roman Reigns at the round number of WrestleMania 40, and Cody finally is declared champion. That is what we've been building towards all year long. Cody going through Brock, Cody going through the Judgment Day, now Shinsuke Nakamura, now going to approach the Royal Rumble match, possibly lose, have to find a way into the Elimination Chamber, whatever way they're going to go on the road to WrestleMania. That is where we've been heading. But now The Rock is back, and now the question is The Rock going to derail Cody Rhodes' story? And not only, in my opinion, does it possibly interrupt Cody Rhodes' story for WrestleMania, but depending on which way we go, it could possibly interrupt Seth Rollins versus CM Punk main eventing on Night 1. CM Punk, it has been well documented how much he wants that WrestleMania main event, and that is one of the reasons he has said he has come back to the WWE, is to main event WrestleMania. Then you got Seth Rollins, on the other hand, who outside of the Money in the Bank cash-in has never main evented truly WrestleMania. And this year, honestly, is probably the second time in his career that it just makes the most sense for him to main event. The first time was 35, got beat out by his wife and Becky Lynch. Now he's been world champion, basically been the face of the company when Roman Reigns is not there. And now WrestleMania Saturday, looming in the distance for him to main event, but The Rock may just interrupt that. We might not get Seth Rollins main eventing in a WrestleMania in 2024. Now, Seth Rollins very well may not care about getting that one WrestleMania main event. I don't know, just like you guys don't know. Seth Rollins has always seemed like a very WWE for the best of the business guy, but that doesn't mean he doesn't want that WrestleMania main event a little bit. I'm sure it means a ton for him to go on last as the biggest show of the year, and especially against the biggest possible opponent he could have in CM Punk. All the stars are aligned. But if The Rock comes back, and hypothetically, this is what people have been throwing out on social media, this is not my idea, and no, this is not what I would do either. A lot of people saying, well, Rock's back, we go Rock versus Roman on Saturday or Sunday night, whichever one you do. However, Roman loses the championship before we get to WrestleMania 40, and that being losing it to Randy Orton at the Royal Rumble, and then Randy turning heel on the road to WrestleMania and defending it against Cody Rhodes, where Cody defeats Randy Orton. And listen, Rock versus Roman, in general, I'm about it. Cody versus Randy, especially about that. But Cody versus Randy, specifically talking on that for a minute, that happening at WrestleMania 40 for the Undisputed Championship is way too soon and way too rushed. The only way we should be getting Cody versus Orton in 2024 is Cody defending the championship during this summer against Randy Orton, who newly turns heel, and that is your main event for SummerSlam. The Cody versus Orton story is the story of the summer. That is what should be happening. Randy Orton beating Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble, dethroning him after this long reign, possibly with the help of The Rock, having to turn heel in the lead up to WrestleMania. Cody needs to find his way, and then we get Orton versus Cody for Cody to dethrone Orton at Mania. Seems all too rushed. Just not the way to go, in my opinion. Cody and Orton are going to have their story, but it should be this coming summer, should not be at WrestleMania 40. And to touch back on CM Punk and Seth Rollins, and especially CM Punk, as I mentioned, CM Punk, one of the reasons he has come back is to main event WrestleMania. And I will say, it doesn't necessarily have to be WrestleMania 40. It's not like Punk's main event in 40 and then he's dipping out of there. Like, Punk's, for what we understand, is in it for the long haul, and he ain't going anywhere anytime soon. And I have thrown out on the channel before, regardless of what happens with, you know, this, that, and the third at WrestleMania 40, WrestleMania 41 should be main evented by CM Punk versus Roman Reigns, and that's a matchup that does not need a championship involved. It's Punk, Roman, and Paul Heyman in the middle. That can go on last at WrestleMania 41, whether it's Saturday or Sunday. That is the biggest non-title match for Roman Reigns if we get the Rock match out of the way in the lead up to WrestleMania or at WrestleMania itself. That is the biggest non-title match for Roman Reigns post this legendary run. There is two stories glaring Roman Reigns in the face for after he loses the Undisputed Universal Championship, and that is the feud with CM Punk with Paul Heyman in the middle, and that is a feud with Solo Sikoa, which hopefully will be very Evolution-esque, and hopefully Solo is going to come out looking like Batista, red-hot babyface on the other side when that happens. Now we'll get to what I would specifically do in a second, but I do think there is a couple more possible ideas, and I will say, like, I'm very much, you know, in Triple H we trust around here, and, you know, Triple H finally getting full control over the WWE over the last few months creatively has been great. I think WWE television the best it's been in a very long time, and I'm sure he already has in place for the most part what his WrestleMania main events are going to be. CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, your top guys to win the Royal Rumble matchup, obviously, but we have talked about throughout 2023, before CM Punk even came back, a couple of the dark horses for that matchup. Back in the summer, I would have told you LA Knight has a shot. I don't think he really has a shot now. I think LA Knight's going to fight Logan Paul one way or another at WrestleMania. And I also want to talk about the Intercontinental Champion Gunther, who I do think will face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 40, and I do think will win the World Heavyweight Championship or the WWE Championship, whatever it may be, at the Bash in Berlin next August in Germany. But there is always the case that maybe Gunther wins the Royal Rumble matchup and goes on to challenge Seth Rollins title for title at WrestleMania. And you may be asking, well, why would that happen? What about CM Punk? Here's what I'm thinking. This is just a, you know, an idea, and probably wouldn't be the way I go. I'm just throwing out the idea. Gunther versus Rollins, and I don't know what you do with Lesnar in this case, but disregard that for a second. We could get Gunther versus Rollins, title for title. We could get, you know, Cody versus Roman on one night as well, and CM Punk could easily be involved in a non-title match. People have speculated we still might get CM Punk versus Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 40. I don't think that's going to happen, but you never know. That's just another idea for what could happen at WrestleMania 40. Listen, all in all, The Rock obviously being back could throw some major plans, could throw some major monkey wrenches in to WrestleMania 40, but I don't think it needs to. As much as I want to see The Rock wrestle live in person, because I'll be there at WrestleMania 40, there's more important things of the matter right now, and that's Cody Rhodes being staked at the claim as the face of the company, as the WWE champion at the end of WrestleMania 40, and CM Punk and Rollins getting their main event as well. So I'm not breaking any news here. A lot of people have thrown out this idea. The Elimination Chamber will be the biggest Elimination Chamber event in the event's history. Last year was great. It was probably the best chamber pay-per-view we have ever gotten. This year, probably going to be that much better. Perth, Australia, 60, 70,000 seat stadium that I don't even think is sold out yet. I want to say 60,000 seat stadium. I believe they sold about 40,000 tickets. You put The Rock on that marquee, that place is sold out within minutes. I do believe The Rock and Roman Reigns will happen in Perth, Australia at the Elimination Chamber. Evidently, Australia has made a pitch to get The Rock for the show. Whether that was in a wrestling capacity or not, we don't know, but they wanted The Rock there. We can get Rock versus Roman at Elimination Chamber, and the story can still go on for WrestleMania 40. And I'll tell you what, Roman beating The Rock at the Elimination Chamber and Cody beating Roman at WrestleMania 40 is just going to make Cody winning the title and him himself that much better. Can you imagine the promo on Raw if they wanted to go about this? Rock can't beat Roman. He fails to do so at the Elimination Chamber. There's only one guy. Rock even admits, like, I couldn't do it. And The Rock puts over Cody Rhodes in that moment and says, it's up to you. You go win the belt. And Cody's just coming out looking like $1 million. And people have brought up the idea because, once again, Cody's going into that matchup outnumbered. No matter, you know, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn tried to have his back last year, but the Usos, Solo Sikoa specifically, just outnumbered Cody Rhodes. People have brought up the idea that The Rock could show up at WrestleMania 40 still, even after losing to Roman Reigns at the Elimination Chamber and helping Cody defeat Roman Reigns on that show. Even in the odds, taking out Solo Sikoa, people have brought up the idea maybe he's a special guest ref, maybe he's just an enforcer at ringside like Mike Tyson at WrestleMania 14. I'm all about those ideas as long as Cody is still the one beating Roman Reigns in the main event of WrestleMania Sunday. I have no problem with that, as much as I want to see The Rock and Roman, and for the longest time I even said myself, you can't do that anywhere else but WrestleMania. I am also in the camp that the WWE and just the wrestling business overall is changing for the better, in the case where every single show is starting to feel like a big deal. WrestleMania will always be WrestleMania, but Elimination Chamber is going to be in a 60,000 seat stadium. The Royal Rumble is going to be at Tropicana Field. So many shows. We're getting backlash in France. They're doing a show in Germany at the end of August. Like, not everything needs to happen at WrestleMania. We can have these big matches and big moments and title changes and all this stuff happen throughout the year at some of these other major events. So Rock and Roman happen in Elimination Chamber in Australia. I'm all for it. Does not affect WrestleMania. If The Rock still wants to show up at Mania in one way or another, where it's involving Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes or not, I'm all for it. I'll tell you what though, if over the next few weeks on Raw, The Rock declares himself for the Royal Rumble matchup, you can pretty much guarantee that The Rock and Roman Reigns is happening at WrestleMania 40. I don't want to see that at all. I mean, even I said that last year. As much as I wanted to see Rock and Roman at 39 in Los Angeles, I was even in the camp if I don't want to see The Rock of all people win the Royal Rumble. Like, I hate when, like, the year prior when Brock Lesnar just showed up and won the thing. Like, I like new people winning this match every year, which is one of the proponents why I really would rather not see Cody Rhodes win the Rumble again. I'd rather Punk do it this year. Obviously, you guys have heard me say if Cody wins it, like, whatever, I'm not going to complain about it because it's still Cody Rhodes. But if The Rock declares himself for the Rumble over the next few weeks, then we got a problem. But I don't think we're heading towards that way. I think we got Rock and Roman in Australia sometime in February. Cody gets his match and finishes his story at WrestleMania 40, and Punk and Rollins can still have the main event of Saturday night. No questions asked. I'll tell you what, at the end of the day though, WrestleMania season is already shaping up to be a good one. I am pumped for the Royal Rumble. I'm pumped for WrestleMania 40. I have done a ton of fantasy booking and discussions of those two shows as of late on the channel. We did a fantasy booking video for both the men's and women's Royal Rumble matches. You guys can go check those out, as well as fantasy book the entire WrestleMania 40 card. You guys can go check out that video right now over on the channel. But thank you guys for checking out this video. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe down below, and go follow me across all social medias at Noah Nation Vlogs. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.